for a video, kind of doing a marathon here. See, I'm leaving and I'm gonna be uploading a few videos so that while I'm away, they publish on their own. And I'm gonna be visiting while I'm away and commenting on and check the comments on these videos as they upload. Now, they will be published at around 8 p.m. Dubai time every 2 days or so. Okay, so every other day there's gonna be a new video that comes out. And so let's make this like a kind of like, for now I'm thinking that it's kind of like a mini series. All right, so I'm not too sure exactly how many videos I've already done. I've kind of lost count, which is to your advantage because the more I actually lose count of these videos, I'm just gonna keep going, and the more there's going to be, well, the more videos it's gonna be. I think this is the fourth, or I could be wrong, probably the fifth. Anyway, so at least 5 videos are going to be uploaded, and they're going to be released every other day. And what's gonna happen is that I'm gonna pick things up when I get back, and then we'll do the regular videos, rigging videos and stuff. And right now I'm actually rigging some of my jigs that I will use for that weird time when we have tuna that's hovering at around 40 meters to about 80 meters in the water. And we've been using, with good success, we've been using various jigs, mostly fast jigs in the 80 to 120, but we've caught fish basically from I would say we've caught them using up to 200 and as light as 60. But the magic range is anywhere between 80 to 150. And mostly on fast jigs. This, however, is not a fast jig. This is a Kensaki. Okay? And a Kensaki is a slow jig that you can fast jig with. My problem with the Kensaki is that the eye is in a different orientation, so it's kind of difficult to rig. And this is actually 120 grams, and it's perfect for this sort of application. And this is probably one jig that I would just pick up from the box and use it with either my fast jigging setup or my slow jigging setup, and it wouldn't matter because it's the right size. But the thing that we would be doing is to actually rig this with a single hook so that we could use it for either a fast jig or a slow jig. And to tell you honestly, I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do yet. So, okay. So here we go. So yeah, if you're new to this channel talks about the hows and whys of fishing. We cover everything from big game, ultralight, everything in the middle, including fly fishing. And today I'm going to rig the Kensaki with a single hook rig that would help me be more efficient with a slow jig or a fast jig, whichever I use this on, in those weird finicky tuna in Fujairah when they just go nuts. Okay, I don't really know how to describe how they do things, you know, because these fish are just weird. Normally, when we encounter them, what happens is that normal mode is that you catch them on the surface. These guys are on the surface, you see them, they refuse to bite anything. And there were several instances where I was able to actually catch them using gear that I guess I screwed the pooch on this. So there are several instances where I actually caught them on soft plastic, and there were instances of this where I actually filmed and show on the on several videos. Actually, there's more than one video. I don't know if I've actually explained the situation while I was doing the fishing and the catching, because there's several videos of me actually catching these on the casting gear that I was using at that time. But you know, just to have variety and just to have a bit more efficiency, and also the fact that I've been catching them all on fast jigs, you know, just for a little bit of variety. So we're gonna be using a slow jig, but with a single hook. The single hook facilitates easier removal of the hook, and also it's a bit safer when it comes to these things. All right. So the basic problem with the Kensaki is the fact that the eye is in an orientation where it's more common for a fast jig. Now, my solution, my quick solution for this is to actually splice the hook directly onto the eye, like this. So instead of using a solid ring, the eye of the hook, or the eye of the jig, becomes the solid ring. And I've used it like this, and actually works pretty good. And that is what I'm showing you today. Okay, so if you splice the cord like so, you could see, like just like that, it lays down quite well. The problem with putting a split ring, solid ring, and all that, what happens is that the solid ring stands up like that. Okay, it stands up like that, and it's not gonna lay flat. What happens is that you actually lose some fish because of that, and that's not what we're gonna do. Alrighty, so rig it like this, and then we'll go ahead and take a hook. So I have I think I'm going to be using one of my custom 4.0s for this. So these hooks I had made for myself. Hired a company to make these hooks for me, not for sale. And it took me a while to actually look for this company, so yeah, go ahead and do the same. I'm not gonna, no help from me there. Alrighty, I hope you understand. So we just go like that, okay, and then we will tie this. This is not gonna be easy. Okay, we tie this like so, and it's gonna be like that. So the toe point of the hook is on top. Okay, let me show you exactly what I'm saying here. So you can see that that's the position. Okay, and if you position it like this, it's gonna pull the hook away from the fish. If you go like that, that is going to be where the line of pull is going to be, where the hook point is gonna go. Okay, the line of pull is where the hook point is going to go. That's very important. So for you guys who are not familiar with that, if you're new to the channel, I discuss stuff like that, and there's a lot of videos that talk about that. So if you missed out on that, I suggest you subscribe or do a search on how to make your own assist hooks, and then you'll find those videos. So there we go. Okay, so at this point in time, what we're doing is just basically binding and pulling the assembly here so it doesn't move. Okay, like so. Okay, now I'm gonna apply glue, and I'm gonna apply glue only to the sides. Okay, so right there, a little bit, and then right here on your side. So on my side I put a little bit, on your side I put a little bit. Okay, and then what I will do is I will just wrap. Okay, and I'm trying to fill the gaps so it looks clean, like so. Okay, so if I do this and fill the gaps, what happens is that it forces the glue. Okay, and remember this is tied on really tight. So basically we're squishing the glue this way, we're squishing the glue that way, and it forces the glue to the side, binding the cord and the lashings or the binding, and also it is binding all of that to the shank of the hook. There we go. Now, just to ensure that the hook is always upright, we are going to put flash. Okay, now to tell you honestly, you don't really need flash. You could use any other material. So just to illustrate the point, what we're gonna do is actually put on synthetic hair, and this is synthetic hair that I just happen to have right here because I've been tying flies lately. Okay, so just take a little bit of this, and we're relying on the drag that this creates, and when this creates drag, it forces the hook upright. Okay, so gonna do that. Cut the excess. Alright. We've cut the excess, so we have two ends that are uniform. Okay, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put the material like so, fold it. Okay, make sure that it's actually at the 50% line so that you'll have both ends even. Now if you see that there are hairs that are separating, just pull them out. Gingerly pull them out. Okay, you don't want to mess up your stack. Okay, and the object of this is to just take off the stuff that is potentially going to create issues. Okay, so once you have that, just go and wrap like so. Okay, second wrap traps all of the fibers like so. Okay, and we have super glue on that, so it basically kind of glues it in place as well. Alright, it doesn't matter for this, it doesn't matter if it's actually going to go like that, because this is soft material, and what happens is that it's just gonna push itself up. Now we have to do is make sure that that is bound tight and it is not going to come loose. Okay, like so. Now I am putting this on this side and not at the back, because if you're putting it at the back, it's gonna behave differently. So if the whole object of this is to steer the hook so that it's going to be hook point up, that is the only reason why we're putting this on. And mind you, I am not putting something that's shiny, because I just want this to steer the hook. I don't want the added attraction. The jig will be that's the jig's job. Okay, so that is on tight, and we will finish with a whip finish, and this is going to be difficult because of the jig. There we go. Yikes. Alrighty. There we go. Okay. Alright, so the line actually cut when it hit the braid. So it basically cut itself. That's fine. It means that it's just cut on the bottom right there. So all we need to do is just glue it and it's done. See, it's not loose. Sometimes it happens, the braid just cut itself. And basically for this one, what happened was that as we were tightening it, it cut itself. Alrighty, so that's done. And we are going to zap this. Okay. So that's dry. There we go. I will zoom out so you see everything. Alrighty. Now, what I want to do is ensure that this is uniform. I don't want the stragglers there. Just cut it off. Alrighty. So, that's that. Now, this is what's going to happen. Alright. Very first thing that I will do is actually take a pair of pliers. And I want to take that paint off. Or actually just use a cutter. Okay. And then we take that bit of paint off so that the hook is free to slide over to the right position. And if this thing is here, what's gonna happen is it's gonna stop the hook. So clean that up. And this method is not only for the Kensaki, although it's a prime example for it, but there are other jigs that are similar. So if you encounter a jig where the tie-in point is actually at a different configuration, you could just use this technique, which is basically to tie it, splice it directly onto the eye, like so. Alright, so as you can see there, that's it. Now, when this hits the water, the material here, because it's tied on that side, what happens is that it creates drag. Okay? And the hook point is always going to point up. If I put it here on the back, it's going to flip the hook pretty much, and it could be like this and up because the hair is there. But since the resistance of the hair is there, it's always going to position the hook point in the position like that. Okay, so we're putting a quick snap on this, and all it is to position your lure like so, and then push it in, and it'll be easier to take off and on. Now the good thing about this for this particular one is that we don't need a split ring and a solid ring assembly. It's basically just a snap, and then you tie your line there, and that's about it. So as far as rigging a slow jig is concerned, this is actually one of the simplest forms. Okay, and again, because the hair is actually on the gape side or the point side, what happens is that because of water resistance, when this falls, this automatically positions the hook to be hook point up. And when you're slow jigging, especially with the Kensaki, that's something that you want on a single hook rig right there. Okay, so again, it could be a very specific purpose for this particular jig, but even if fast jigging would be efficient, just the mere fact that I have a few slow jigs, and this is the first one that's actually slim, so a slim slow jig that I could use instead of sticking with the fast jig, and it could be that I'm tired, you know, or bored, pretty much, of catching on a fast jigging rig. I could just switch over to this one, and the single hook rig would enable me to do the same thing that I'm doing with the fast jigging combo. Alright, that's it for now. If you learned from this video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet and you want to learn more, click on the subscribe button. If you want your friends to learn with you, share this video. And if you have comments, drop them in the comment section. If you have questions, comments, violent reactions, comment section. Alrighty, so that's it for now. That's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Like literally, I'm gonna make another one right after this. Alrighty, so that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. Class dismissed.